Salud, fellow imbibers. Welcome to Fort Worth Labor to Refreshment podcast, where we discuss whatever we want. Our opinions are our own and do not represent the stance of any lodge or Grand Lodge.
Let's go. Let me make sure. What's the name of our thing?
From labor to refreshment. That's pretty embarrassing. But
yeah.
I hope I got it right. So, go for it.
Welcome back to another episode of From Labor to Refreshment Fort Worth Lodge's podcast group. I am Jeremy Gwin. I am the Worshipful Master of Fort Worth Lodge 148.
I'm Brandy Patton, the Secretary of 148.
Yeah, so kind of catch everyone up on, because I think it's been a little while since we've done one of these. So obviously we've had elections recently. I have been promoted to the East, and I think Brandy got re-promoted to another year of Secretary.
Distinguished Secretary, yes, sir.
Yeah. So how many years do you have in your sentence of Secretary? I mean, how many? What did the judge give you? Was it 4 or 5 years or 10 years for good behavior or something?
You know, that's a topic we didn't think about talking about. You do got to plan these things out.
You do absolutely do. Yeah.
I'm completely prepared to ascend to the South.
Mm-hmm.
I just think we've got some great candidates in line for it. I'm not going to jump in front of them.
Yeah. No, that's very noble of you. That's real noble.
And, you know, there's always that chance that someone doesn't show up. Hey,
yeah.
It's nice to have people in reserve that can do it.
Absolutely.
I don't mind doing secretary. It's not as bad as people portray it as, at least not at our lodge.
No, it's really not. I think the biggest thing that I noticed was, okay, so when you're just a member of the lodge, you show up on your prescribed day, you go home, that's it. You don't think about lodge for another week usually. Secretary, no, your emails are getting blown up. Your phone gets, I used to get phone calls every once in a while from one of our members. Hey, I didn't get a dues card. Yeah, okay, no problem. But if that was like the biggest part of it, yeah, okay, that's pretty easy, at least for me to deal with.
Yeah, my Tuesday morning is usually pretty busy but fortunately I can actually work while I'm at work, so that works out well too.
Yeah, no, that does work. Yeah, and you work from home, so
yeah,
that really makes it easy. So when you get a slow moment, you might catch up on some stuff.
But Jeremy's always got about 15 hours in the fire too as Worshipful Master. So
oh gosh, yeah, let me get you started on that. That's great. One of our members commented because we had our first stated last week, and he made a comment about because we had issue all of our new committees for the year, and he made a comment on our group chat about, do we have a committee to keep track of all the committees that we have? It's like, dang it, I will appoint that next month.
Yeah. So as secretary, I'm actually looking at the minutes, but I'm not going to say I've got them right here in front of me.
Yeah, exactly. So what else has happened in the last bit?
So one of our members, our Canadian brother and fellow noble, is opening his meadery. He's finally got all his licensing is handled.
Yeah, congratulations, dude.
Yeah, Brew. Hopefully we can make some mead really popular in the DFW area.
Yeah, mead is delicious.
He's got one competitor over in Allen somewhere.
That's Dallas County. We don't talk to those folks.
Yeah, so I think he's going to do good. He's got a good business plan.
He does. So neat location.
You might see us serving there every once in a while, because I do have my server certificate.
As do I. And as any business owner knows, getting a business up off the ground is that's the hard part. So I'm willing to donate hours and help my friend, get his thing up and running. So
yeah. So on that topic, I went to the Texas Shrine Association. It's basically the shrine meeting for all the shrines in Texas. We have their motor competitions, the patrol competitions, all the bands compete, the homebrew clubs compete, which is why I was there. And we ended up picking up a couple of bottles.
The trophies are bottles.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
They did a great job on the trophies. The competition was pretty cool, way more competitive than I expected. These guys do take it seriously.
How did your beers do?
So apparently it's stuff that I really don't want to do that does well. Ryan, the previous brewmaster of our Cowtown Brew Club, kind of pushed us to do a cherry limeade goza, and I hate it, but I'm the only one that had the equipment that can actually do it, so I did a goza, and everybody loved it last year. Well, this year we decided to do the same beer because there was a Berliner Weiss category, which kind of the same beer. Goza's a little bit more tart. It's got a little more, got some salt in it, a little bit of coriander, very similar. So I did the cherry limeade goza, and I added a little bit more body to it with another pound of malt. And yeah, we won first place for that one.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. We did a ginger ale, which Jeremy helped me with that on that one. I don't even drink ginger ale, but
That ginger ale was delicious.
kind of just went to the local grocery store and bought a couple of hands of fresh ginger root, shredded it, boiled it in some water with some sugar, threw a little bit of lemon in it, and cut it with some carbonated water. Yeah, it was pretty dang good.
Yeah, the way we ended up doing that was we made our ginger concentrate with the sugar and the ginger roots, boil that. Okay, so we've got our concentrate. Poured that into the jar that we're gonna enter, and then cut it with the sparkling water or the carbonated water until it tasted right. And oh my goodness, I thought that was amazing. Of course, we had a lot left over, so I took some leftover home and made stuff. Yeah, made stuff with it. And it was great.
Non-alcoholic ginger ale.
It was, yes, it's duly noted.
So me, I kind of wanted to punish the judges for making me brew it. So I had plans to do habaneros in it. You didn't need them. It was plenty spicy.
It was very spicy. I didn't realize ginger ale could be so spicy.
Yeah.
But it's good. It was really good.
Yeah,
really good.
So yeah, that event was really interesting. We installed the new TSA officers. There's 13 shrines in Texas. I'm going to talk about the homebrew side of it more because that's the only thing I was there for. They ran it at the shrine up there has a gun range because they have a patrol that actually has like firearms, the 22 caliber, but it's a big gun range. Outdoor. They've got a cool patio. Really jealous of their facility. I don't know how they managed to pull out the homebrew competition with that because it was madness with
alcohol and firearms.
Yeah,
not compatible.
Those two were never combined. There was
Good.
There was a cornhole tournament afterwards, which apparently was part of the scoring that I didn't realize, so we didn't compete in that. Anyway, we didn't win the overall trophy. Hopefully this year or next year we will because we're actually hosting it.
Yep.
Pretty good chance we'll be hosting it at B and Brew. So
yeah. So
we talked about the funding on that, how that's going to work.
To work all that logistics out.
So yeah.
What lodge kind of did a lot of the work on that? Wichita Falls. It was in Wichita Falls, right?
Yeah, and I just got off work and I've already had a
While he Googles that to refresh his memory, because he has slept since then.
Muscat. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
I should remember that.
But yeah, he said they did a great job putting everything together, and they did organize the pub crawl and everything.
Oh yeah, Wichita Falls. I wouldn't call it a party town per se. There's a big Air Force base there. It's college town. It's an older city. Excuse me, I'm coughing. I've been there before for beer, for craft brew. Okay, my family lives in Amarillo. We do a reunion every year. Wichita Falls, if you do it right, can be a stop off. So sometimes I go that way instead of taking 287. And it's got a big giant waterfall. It's kind of cool.
Hence the name Wichita Falls.
Yeah, it's 110 there right now, so the waterfall is not, really usable. But anyway, so there was one brewery last time we were there, but the Muscat guys.
Sorry, I had to get a refill.
Yeah, hopefully I got that. I don't think Wichita Falls is a great place for a pub crawl, but the brothers at the shrine there and the TSA guys that organized it had a really cool pub crawl. Basically, you paid $40, you get a wristband, and they had shuttle buses to take you around town, which you didn't really need, but it was nice to have that. 5 stops, at least that's how many I went through. You had food and pizza. You had pizza at the first one, one drink. The next one was actually axe throwing next door, which came with the drink. Next one was
That sounds dangerous.
yeah. It was awesome though.
Let's do a pub crawl and hand each other sharp objects.
Yeah, and
What could possibly go wrong?
well, and lots of members of the Imperial Divan are there. So
Nice.
I met a couple of those guys. I'm not gonna name drop
Those
them.
are cool people.
Yeah, I mean the guys that actually run the International Shrine, which
Mhm.
the Imperial Potentate was actually, he wasn't at the pub crawl, but he was at the TSA, which I don't know if that's normal. But anyways, I met him, got a picture with him. But yeah, small towns, organized pub crawls, it works, man. We did one in Tyler too, which Tyler's, I thought it was still a dry town, but it's not. They've got
Nice.
several breweries there. And the last stop there was a cigar shop that I'm not sure the affiliation, but yeah, we had a smoke room ourselves if you're into that kind of thing. So yeah, all that's the Labor Refreshment and stuff that we do.
Yeah. The last Mason related pub crawl that I did was during the Grand Communication. And I know Waco Lodge helped organize that one. That was much fun.
Another great point. Yeah.
Too much fun. And everything was walking distance, which was wonderful. It was January, so it was a little chilly, but it wasn't bad. But yeah, it was
Waco, another
too much fun. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Historically conservative town.
Mhm.
And yeah, pub crawl.
Great bunch of great little bars.
Yeah,
And a lot of great people there too.
there's a pizza place / brewery literally across the street from the Airbnb in Grand Lodge.
Mhm.
And prices are good, beer is good.
The pizza was
The
fantastic.
fellowship is great.
Yeah.
We kind of did one in Corpus. You kind of do one there, but
Mhm.
that's going to be interesting this year because we're doing the OLT officer leadership training for Texas Masons. Generally, it's at the Omni, but we're having it at the Shrine. This is getting very Shrine centric, I've noticed.
Nah, it's all right.
Right? That's the party side of Masonry.
It is the
so-
party side. We're here to talk about the fun stuff.
Yeah, so we've got an Airbnb down there this year instead of doing the hotel. That should be fun.
Yeah, that's one thing our lodge likes to do is we like to have fun outside of, just outside of our Blue Lodge room. So we always go down. So for those of you who are not familiar, not Texas Masons, the Grand Lodge of Texas has officer leadership training courses, and it's recommended for the junior warden and senior warden to prepare you for those stations and the next stations in your journey. There's, I think, 6 of them throughout the year. They're all held within a couple of months of each other. And we live in North Texas, but we will travel down to Corpus because it's the beach. And like Brandy said, it used to be held at the Omni. They decided not to do that this year. So we rented an Airbnb. So we found one big Airbnb that sleeps, I think, 8 people. So we're all going. We're taking our ladies with us. And we're planning on, again, having just way too much fun.
Yeah, I think one brother's actually going to attend OLT.
Yeah.
Hey,
I've already had it. So
Yeah.
I'm good. Brady's had one. He's going to wait for another one.
Sean's had one.
Yeah.
He's gonna wait for another one.
Well, it was really funny last year, whatever, afterwards, I came back and I had such a glorious sunburn. And I had the raccoon eyes from having my sunglasses on at the beach because I spent all day at the beach. And the look on the brothers' faces when I came in the lodge that next week with that sunburn, they're like, well, you look like you had fun. I'm like, my golly, guys, let me tell you how much fun I had. After that, everybody's like, yeah, I'm going to go next year. I want to go. I'm going to do this.
Corpus is if you're not from Texas, it's kind of a hidden treasure. The beach there, not really too impressive. There's not really one. It's a shipping channel. But if you go just a little bit south of there, it's the Padre Island National Seashore. It's technically a highway / state park in Texas, but it's a giant beach. You can go like 60 miles. It's not quite
On the sand.
Yeah, on the sand.
Mhm.
You can, if you've got a 4-wheel drive like a Jeep or something, you can probably go all the way to the jetty, which goes to the other side of Padre Island.
That's not the one that butts up to Mexico, is it?
No, that's further south. You
That's
gotta-
further south. Okay.
But the beaches are all, it's not quite like the panhandle of Florida sand color, but it's 90% is nice.
Yeah.
None of them are built out for any kind of like partying. There's lots of fishing charters. But if you want a like nice desolate beach, Corpus, just go to Padre Island National Seashore. You got all the room in the world. Once you get past that 5-mile marker, they actually have a sign that 4-wheel drive is recommended. I drive a Jeep. My wife drives a Jeep. We can go as far as we want on it. Not bragging, but I kind of am, I guess.
I mean, hey, it's not bragging if it's true.
Yeah. But yeah, I still haven't driven all the way down it. But a little bit further south, that would be South Padre Island. And that's where the jetty actually, You can see the north side of Padre Island when you go all the way to the other side.
South Padre Island was the MTV spring break place back in the 90s. So if that tells you anything about how nice South Padre can be, that's where MTV chose to have their stuff.
Off season, it's very affordable. Spring break season, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Another new attraction there is SpaceX, Boca Chica. That's their test facility. Eventually, it'll be a launch facility. So that's the one that crosses the Rio Grande or touches the Rio Grande. You can go to Boca Chica. You can't go straight there, Padre. You got to go around a little bit. You can see it, but we're probably doing that in December too, because the water's still 67 degrees. It's mid 60s.
Yeah,
hotels are very affordable. Not a very good beer town. There's one brewery.
Bring your beer.
Yeah,
if you need beer, bring your beer.
Yeah, but the Boca Chica, it's the same thing. You can go over there and it's free. That beach, you don't pay anything. You drive on it as long as the island's open. It's Boca Chica State Park, and you can drive all the edge of that, and then you're at the Rio Grande. So you're literally seeing guys from Mexico fishing right there, and
nice.
You can go across legally, illegal, whatever. We didn't do that because it was high tide and it was a little sketchy. But so yeah, that's pretty much how that works. And man, we've already got a lot of time on this podcast.
Yeah, be all right.
We're gonna get our time in.
So our next item that we wanted to talk about was our upcoming brew competitions. There's a brewery in Keller that hosts a brew competition.
Roanoke.
I'm sorry. Yeah, technically it's Roanoke. Sorry, I'm still thinking those two.
Texas is full of tiny little towns with really cool names.
Yeah. So they have a citywide festival twice a year, and the brewery the little brewery in that area hosts a brew competition, and I believe they're always for charity. The last one, which was in the spring, which we competed in, our homebrew club, the Shrine Homebrew Club did. We took first place overall. That was really cool. That was amazing. Our friend Chris, who is opening the thing, he actually was the one that actually did the work on that particular beer. But
Grisette, he played to the audience.
Yeah, he did. And I had a lot of questions like, man, what's a grisette? And I'm like, that's a good question. I got to look it up. I've never heard of a grisette, but I was like, okay. So I read it. I'm like, okay, so read the description, taste the beer. Dang, Chris, I think you nailed this. And yeah, the brewers were very, very impressed with it. That was cool. Well, they're doing that again in the fall. They do it spring and fall every year. We've been invited to come back and participate in that, which reminds me, we probably need to get on the registration, see if that registration's up yet.
Yeah, we do 3 beers this year. What's different? What's different about that competition though is it's most homebrew competitions. You bottle your beer and they're judged sight unseen. This one you serve out of kegs and the judges come get straight off the tap from you.
Yep.
But it's also completely open to the public.
Yeah.
So,
or the first year we ran out of beer.
Yeah, the first year we did
that was a oops.
Yeah, we did a pumpkin stout, and we've learned our lessons.
Yeah,
we're gonna be there with 2 fresh kegs, possibly 3 because 3's the max.
Yeah. I think we're gonna do 3 this year.
But the one thing that I've learned at that one though is you do need to play to the audience and the environment because it's outdoor and it's hot.
Yeah.
Even in September, it's still going to be mid 80s.
Yeah.
You're probably so Jeremy and I are going to compete on this one. You're doing the Marzen.
I'm doing a Marzen. Yeah, I just bought the ingredients today,
and I'm going to do a Maibach, which are very similar beers.
Very similar beers.
Like yours is basically a lager. Mine's going to be ale yeast. Not the same. Not the same malt bill.
Yeah. Very, very similar.
I'm probably going to make mine a little bit bigger because get them drunk to like it more, right?
That's a good point. I actually changed I found a great recipe online and I was doing a little bit of digging, changed the grain bill just a little bit to give this a little bit more body. But I don't think this one's going to come up with much alcohol. I think my goal is like 5.5% alcohol, which a Marzen's supposed to be like 5.5 to 6.5, something like that. So that's what I'm going to aim for. I'm going to aim for a little bit lighter beer because anything that we don't give away, I get to drink.
So those that aren't beer nerds, Marzen is basically an Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
It's you brew them in March for Oktoberfest, which is in September.
Yeah.
So explain that.
Yeah.
But
so actually what's funny, you mentioned that. I did a little bit of research on this because I was doing a quick write-up so I can share with the other Shrine Brethren on this. So quick history on Oktoberfest. It was a celebration of Prince Ludwig's wedding in 1812 something like that. Turned into it just kind of mutated into just an annual celebration after that. Beer wasn't even really a part of it until like the 1830s or something like that. It was weird. Anyway, so now there's two predominant Oktoberfest style beers that are around here. You have a Marzen and a Fest beer, also called a Weizen. I think it's just a Weizen. Anyway, the Weizen's the more common. The Fest beer is the one that's more commonly served in Germany. So if you go to Munich for the Oktoberfest, that's what you're going to see. The Marzen is a little sweeter. That's what's really popular in the United States. So that's why I chose to go with that one. Because whenever you go here in the United States, if you go to, okay, well, let's say you go by Samuel Adams Oktoberfest, in my opinion, one of the greatest Oktoberfests on the planet. That's a Marzen. So I chose to go with that.
Marzen is March.
Yeah. So
in German.
yeah. So they used to start the brewing process in March, and they would store their fermenting vessels in caves because they were cooler, because it's a lager, so they have to ferment cooler. So that's where that comes from. That's why it's a March beer. But then it would be ready by September, October.
For those of you who are not beer nerds, a lager versus an ale, it's basically the yeast style. One's top fermenting, one's bottom fermenting.
Mm-hmm.
Your ales, temperature control is definitely a factor depending on the beer, but not near as critical. A lager literally, lager just means linger essentially.
Yeah.
They take a couple of months, 6 months to age out.
Yeah.
They're gonna be smoother. It's just an aged beer, but that's the way the yeast works, and you need to keep those
like 55, 60 degrees, something like that.
Right. Whereas with ale yeast,
You can go 70, 75.
yeah, it depends on what you're going for. Some
Yeah.
of them, I mean, I've done the Vike strains, Vike, whatever. It's Norwegian. I can't say it right, but the Viking strains.
Mhm.
You do those 95 to 96 degrees. They finish hot and they go 3 days. They're done.
But if you do that with a lager yeast, you'll kill it. You'll kill the lager. You'll kill the yeast.
You'll taste like rotten orange juice, but not in a good way.
Yeah, it'll be terrible. So,
dang. Speaking of that, look at that.
Man, what are you drinking? What is that?
Rum barrel aged pumpkin ale.
Ooh,
To go with your pumpkin that you just had. We're all about these seasonal traditions, you know?
Oh, yeah. Well, the one I just cracked, I just finished a pumpkin. The one I just cracked a minute ago is an American Amber. American Amber. It's a local homebrew, or not homebrew, excuse me, a local brewery around here. They sold some crowlers to go. So
yeah, we're not going to name drop except for Amber because he's a brother.
Yeah, he is a brother, and I have to.
Would you like some of that one?
I'll speak some here in a minute. Yeah. So yeah, that's our upcoming brew competitions. I think that's all of them, right? Just that big one in Roanoke.
Yeah,
we're really excited about that one.
The TSHBA guys, which the Texas Shrine Homebrewers Association, for those who are not Shriners, they're really wanting us to compete in local competitions, and I would love to, but
hey, Roanoke's local.
Roanoke's fun. It's local, and they like us. And you didn't mention this, but they donated all of their proceeds of the last competition to Shriners Hospital for Kids.
Yes, they did. I think they got like
$1,200.
$1,200, yeah, something like that,
roughly.
Yeah, which is cool, man.
Yeah, for one homebrew competition.
Yeah,
and it was a charity within a charitable event. So
yeah,
they haven't announced what they're going to do with the next one, but I mean, I imagine they're probably going to do the same.
They might.
They really like.
Well, they might just spread the love and give it to another charity, another worthy charity. So who knows?
Yeah, like Shriners.
Like Shriners Children's Hospital.
Yes. Yeah. If you have Amazon Smile,
the kids.
Guess what? You can donate with every Amazon purchase.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
But yeah, there's competitions all over the place. We're gonna get more into it. It's been kind of crazy the last few months.
Yeah.
Hopefully things settle down.
It's too hot to brew outside right now.
It's too hot to brew inside. That's why I haven't done it.
I think it got 105 degrees today.
Yeah, my little Brewzilla. I mean, it's just a big giant coffee urn, but I mean, you got 9 gallons of water boiling.
Yeah.
In your living room or in my kitchen in this case. It heats up the house.
I've been brewing on my stove lately.
That works, man.
It does work. It's a lot easier than that turkey fryer.
Well, and also this time of year, if you brew outside, you got every bee, every wasp in the city. They're coming to get your beer.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, what are you making? It smells good. I want some.
Get away, Sting!
Get away! It's my beer.
Yeah,
get away, fool." So,
yeah, so we had a good question that we found on the Reddits a few months ago, and then the other groups have really tackled it. So we'll bring it up.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Do you have the question? Can you cue it up?
Yeah. See, this is why we should do these before we open beers.
Hey, we're having fun.
Yeah.
If you don't believe me, ask me. I'll tell you. We're having fun.
basically it's what do you do with the old curmudgeons, the past masters, the past EDGMs that sit in your lodge. We're not going to use the other names, but there's a lot of names for them. We love the guys. They're very helpful. Sometimes they're not. At what point do you ask them to stay in their lane, or do you ever? How do you handle that situation? How do you feel about it?
So I want to share a bit of wisdom, and this was something that was rolling around the back of my head as I was preparing for my opportunity for the East.
Ascension.
Yeah, my ascension to the East. I have realized that our past masters are an incredible source of information. They've got the experience that I don't have. They've got ideas. They've seen this movie before, and they know how this is going to end, right? So they've got good experience, and they've got a good. They're just a good resource. Well, one of our brothers, who's also a member of our brew club, made a point, and he expressed his dissatisfaction of how, as a master mason, you work really hard in your lodge to prove your worth. You work your way up through the chairs, and you finally get to sit in the East. And the minute you're done with the East, boom, they make you a Tyler and throw you out the door. And I'm like, yeah, that's like a disservice. And he was like, when it happened to him, he felt, I hope I'm not misspeaking on this, but it seemed like he felt offended. He had his feelings hurt. And I'm like, yeah, I would have too, because you put in all this hard work, and now all of a sudden they're like, okay, yeah, bye. We're done with you. We don't care about you. No one wants to call you no more. No one wants your opinion because you're not like the key players. So, and I kind of had that thought in the back of my head intuitively. And in fact, I asked my junior past master to be my marshal this year, because the marshal's the one guy that can gavel down the worshipful master. And yes, he got a little drunk with power when I first asked him about this, and he did the Dr. Evil laugh, for a little while, realizing the power that he now has. But I stand by my decision because he is an incredible resource, extremely knowledgeable, and I'm going to make mistakes. I mean, that's just wait, hold on, let me check my pulse.
Clearly.
Wait, yep, I still got a pulse. So yeah, I'm going to make mistakes. And, so I want him there to help me and steer me in this.
Jeremy's first lodge he ever had open by himself. He's got 4 past masters sitting there staring at him.
And they're all making faces at me. And I'm like, what, guys? Where did I mess up? They're like, no, carry on. No, did I mess up? No. Keep going. I think they're doing it to mess with me. I really do.
They definitely are.
That's fine. I deserve it.
The thing is, for non-Masons, the way it works, I'm not going to give away any secrets. We've got basically 3 chairs who are elected. Well, there's 5 chairs that are elected. You got your worshipful master, you got your senior and junior wardens. They're the 3 guys that are in line. Well,
we call those the big 3.
Yeah, the 2 wardens are in line. Like the senior warden traditionally would go to the east, which would be the worshipful master. Junior warden would take his. The 2 guys before those, the senior and junior deacon, those guys are appointed by the worshipful master. So in the way the rotation works is the senior deacon would be the junior warden. So the current sitting worshipful master picks the next junior warden, essentially, if that's how it goes.
Yeah. Should tradition prevail.
And there's always hiccups, and people have their reasons. So, but the thing is, your outgoing past master basically handpicked your 2 wardens.
Yep.
And the previous one before him handpicked him and then his wardens.
Yep.
So there's a line of succession. It's not written in rules. That's just how it works. So you're picking people that you like that are your guys. You may not like the guys, but they're still elected. That's not the case with us right now.
No,
but it has happened in the past, and it'll happen again in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of weird to have immediate past masters sitting on the sideline with a junior and senior warden that they're clicking with, and maybe the worshipful master isn't.
Yeah.
In that situation, I don't know how you handle that. Like if the past master doesn't agree with you, they can undermine you.
Right. And that, I think, it was the point of the person's question was, what do you do with them? Because I have seen in my Masonic years, past masters, for lack of better terms, stirring up trouble. Just, well, that's not how we did it in my year. Rah, rah, rah. And just, not really contributing to the conversation, just criticizing your decisions. And, so my leadership approach is, okay, so I hear your concerns. What would you recommend? And then, of course, me as the master of the lodge, I have to make that ultimate decision. I do not let my past masters rule the lodge and run the lodge. I make the decisions. Now, We have some past masters where I would just be straight up foolish if I did not take their advice because they're very valuable members of our lodge. But there's some where if they were to throw an idea out there and I'm like, you know what, I will take that under advisement, but I'm not obligated to do that.
Right. You are essentially a dictator at that point.
Yes.
If you want to be.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's, I control the rules, the flow of the lodge.
But if you were the person that would abuse that, you would never get there in the first place.
Hopefully.
That's how it's supposed to work.
Exactly. Hopefully.
Not always.
Yeah.
I've been a master mason for 2 years. So I've dealt with 4 worshipful masters, and they've all been good.
Yeah.
So
we've had a really good run.
Yeah. And then, the pandemic kind of didn't help anyone.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to blame anybody for anything. And that worship master actually did a great job, especially considering the situation. So, we got to be careful because these guys know us. These guys know other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to name drop anyone.
Well, and I don't want to speak ill of any brother.
No, we're not doing that. That's something.
No.
We're just answering a question that we were asked to address.
Yeah. So I did see in one incident where this is definitely not my year. And in fact, the past master who I'm speaking of, I don't think is any longer with us. But anywho, the worshipful master had brought up a point during a stated meeting. This was early in my Masonic year, my Masonic years. I was raised like 15 years ago. So this was a long time ago. Well, anyway, but it's burned in my brain where the worshipful master brought up something and he's like, well, I think we should do this or something like that. And I remember thinking, yeah, that sounds pretty good. And this past master stood up and then started critiquing it and criticizing it. And I'm like, okay. I was confused by it. And another past master stood up and kind of backpacked off the other past master. And it's like, you're not really contributing to this, but they're also members of your lodge. You can't really say, get out. But as a master of lodge, you can gavel them down.
We can't electioneer, but man, we sure can talk about it afterwards.
Right. Yeah. Well, I can't tell you how I'm going to vote, though. That's illegal. I cannot tell you how I'm going to vote.
I can't tell you how you should vote.
That's right.
I can just tell you everything I think about this whole scenario.
Yep. I think this is a bunch of pooey, or I think this is wonderful. Whatever the case may be.
Yeah. So, in my opinion, they should be the elder statesmen.
Yeah.
And they are very valuable assets.
Mm-hmm.
But they need to keep in mind who is over there with the gavel and the hat on, which Texas we wear hats.
Yep. But yeah, no, I agree with you 100% on that. The master of the lodge is the master of the lodge. And if they're contributing, great. If they're hindering the progress of the lodge, the master has a gavel.
And our current, all the past masters I know and have a relationship with, they're active in our lodge still. I know that's not typical. We're very fortunate.
Usually they disappear. So speaking of, it's all funny picture on the internet the other day. It was a spirit Halloween costume someone made like as a joke. It was a blackout suit. Basically, it was like a head to toe blackout costume. And it was called a junior past master. Comes with a black bodysuit, 35 memberships to appendant bodies, and you'll never see them again, or something like that. It was pretty funny. Make a joke about the past masters disappearing, and it's funny. It's sad, but it's true sometimes. And I'm really grateful that our past masters have stuck around and are still here to contribute and help me and not let us fail.
But the one thing, if they I hate to say stay in your lane because that's not how it is. We're a brotherhood. Peace and harmony. We try to keep everybody. If they do see someone making a legal mistake, stop it. Do whatever you can. Use your power. We don't want to lose our charter, and guys are not perfect. There's a reason why you're a past master with your experience, and you're a current master with 2 weeks experience.
Yeah, exactly. I got a whole walk in 2 weeks.
Near what that guy does.
Exactly.
So listen to him.
Exactly, which is why I will never dismiss anything a past master tells me. I may take it under advisement and file it away for future use, but again, I got certain past masters. They come up and say, "You know what you should do, Jeremy?" And I'm already taking notes because I'm willing to bet that they're going to lay out some golden advice.
But isn't it great when you're already doing that before they tell you?
Oh yeah, that's kind of weird. It's weird. Hey, you know what we should do? We should do this. You know what? I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, like you asked me for petitions. Did you order new petitions? Yeah, they're in the drawer right here.
Yeah, the new ones. Yeah, Texas recently updated our petitions. I just want to make sure, hey, we got the correct ones on paper. I don't want to use the internet printed ones because they're not as nice. They're not as fancy for a guy, because I mean, hey, getting handed your petition, that's kind of a momentous occasion for some people. And I want them to have the nicest forms possible. So, and they're not expensive.
We make it kind of special too.
Yeah.
We'll take them out somewhere and
Yeah.
maybe buy them a grape soda somewhere.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Buy 'em
A sarsaparilla.
I think you're dating yourself with that one.
Yeah.
Can't even spell sarsaparilla.
I could an hour ago. So yeah, I think we covered that question. Now
Yeah.
I think do we have any more Masonic stuff at all?
No, I think
Actually, that's the whole list.
that was our whole list.
So what are you brewing currently, Jeremy? Let's get on that.
Yeah, well, I got I still have my Imperial Stout that didn't turn out the way I wanted it. It's still on draft right now. The brewing, I don't have anything currently in the fermenter.
This is the same beer we did for TSA.
It is the same beer we did at TSA.
Wow. Funny story.
Yeah.
We had one beer that we had to enter Cascade Dark Ale. I think is what dark lager they called it.
Yeah.
We didn't have anything. It's not a beer I make. We didn't really plan on brewing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was gonna do. My wife does a. Well, shoot! I'm answering this question already. She likes doing a chocolate hot cocoa stout is what we call it. It's basically a left-hand milk stout clone with a bunch of habaneros in it, a lot of chocolate,
Nice.
cocoa nibs actually to be exact. We make it a little bit bigger than theirs, and we don't do it on nitro. Actually, I did do that one on nitro last time.
Did you?
Turned out pretty good.
Nice.
So yeah, I was gonna enter that one, and we had a party at the house. We need 3 bottles. We had a party at the house the Friday night before we did our bottling line. Yeah, keg blew. Got half a bottle in. Got a good friend that likes to drink my beer. Didn't know he killed that keg.
That'd be all right.
So Jeremy's Imperial Stout, we entered as a Cascadian Dark Lager.
That's probably why I didn't win.
Well,
Because it's not a dark lager.
somebody had a valve that was leaking and didn't know. So it's completely flat. So we're
Wah, wah.
yeah. Let's talk about that night. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I learned these used kegs I bought. I put new O-rings on all the valves, thinking, hey, that'll work, because O-rings are way cheaper. I think package of O-rings for like 10 kegs are like $5 or something, whereas valves are like $10 each, and there's like 2 per keg or something like that. Anyway, yeah, it's like I'll just re-O-ring them. That'd be work. Yeah, nope. Just FYI, go to Amazon or your local homebrew supply and buy yourself just new valves. I have some on. They're actually in my Amazon basket right now because I'm gonna go through all of those kegs I bought and replace them all.
Well, for the TSA competition, we had 7 categories, and you want to enter every category because they all count for points. And the grand prize is, it's a cooler bottle, I guess.
Yeah,
it's
cool.
it's bragging rights.
I wouldn't know because I don't see it.
Well, the grand prize is actually this big, like a like a big boxing belt.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, like a wrestling belt,
which Sharon Shrine and Tyler has now. So props to you guys.
Yeah, good job, guys.
Yeah, and thanks for hosting the midwinter.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see you at the next midwinter. But anyways, we're back. We're talking Mason stuff. So yeah, I brewed a couple of beers. Jeremy brewed a couple of beers. I think Chris. Actually, no, we brewed everything.
Yeah,
and we did the ginger ale.
Well, no, Chris entered Chris did farm.
Chris did the country wine.
The country wine
and the meat. So yeah, we collaborated, and then we did the ginger ale last minute. So I'm thinking, I can do it myself. No worries, I got everything here. Just bring me the kegs, I'll keg it. Yeah. Jeremy came over, and we still spent about 6 hours bottling stuff.
Oh man,
it's crazy. But the reason I bring this up is that one keg with the post. That beer was flat. We had to force carve it and bottle it.
Yeah, that thing was flat on the doorknob, man. That thing was
giant surprise. It didn't place well in the Cascadian Dark Lager.
Oh.
Sorry, I keep saying Cascade. It's a Czech Dark Lager. Was
oh, that's right. Yeah, Czech Dark Lager.
Yeah.
Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, whatever. It's Dark Lager.
It was dark.
Yeah, we didn't do very well on that one. But
yeah, I think I brewed that beer for a different occasion or something. We're like, you know what, we're gonna use this. So what I learned with brewing that beer, the Imperial Stout, in order to make something Imperial, basically, long story short, guys, you double the grain. Okay, neato. I've only set up to brew 6 gallons at a time, which means my mash tun, which is where so to make beer, you start with making oatmeal. You put all of your grains in a big container with hot water, and you stir. It literally looks like oatmeal. Okay. Well, when you put in like 20-something pounds of grain along with the required like 9 gallons of water, it don't fit. So my grain to water numbers were way off. It was just an abomination. I'm surprised it came out even
So
halfway
listeners,
drinkable.
the way you do this on that system is you do it 2 separate batches. So
Yeah.
you do your 10 pounds
Had
at
I
a time
known
and 10 pounds
that.
again. Jeremy's learned a lot.
I've learned a lot. It's
Yeah.
only like my 5th batch I think I've ever brewed. So
It's twice the work. Or just buy a bigger system, which is what everybody should do. But that's not the cheapest way to do
if I
it.
had your money, I would throw my money away. But still.
I'm not going to comment on that.
No, but yeah, no, he's right though. You either do it half and half, or you buy just a bigger system, because Imperial beers are just they're huge.
The biggest one I've ever done was, it came out to like 13%. It was 18 pounds of malt.
Cheese and crackers.
Yeah, and I ended up having to put, because I wanted it to be like, big ABV, big gravity beer.
Yeah.
So I ended up putting 3 pounds of dry malt in it, like when I was doing the boil.
Yeah.
So
What about doing like half grain, half extract? That should get the job done, huh? I mean, you're getting your sugars. That's all that really matters.
if you've got a good quality extract,
Mhm.
it's probably about the same.
Yeah.
But if you buy like a Mr. Beer kit that's been on the shelf for 20 years,
Oh.
it's not going to be very good.
That's true.
I'm not going to praise extract brewing because it's not the right way to do it. But
Yeah.
if you want to get into it,
Yeah,
extract
it's
brewing, it's probably
a
better.
good starter kit to get your feet wet.
The beer you're going to make, you're going to like a lot more than anything from the big three, because you made it yourself and it's probably still pretty good.
Yep. Fresh beer. If anybody's never been to a brewery, I recommend you go. Take your Lodge Brothers with you. Go and make a field trip of it. Taste fresh beer. It's weird how it's different. Brandy and I, being into craft beer and stuff, we're around breweries and stuff all the time. So we're tasting beer that's literally was probably kegged like yesterday. It's incredible. Whenever I switched over from the like Brandy said, the big three, Miller, Coors, and all them guys, switched away from that. It's like, man, you notice a difference. Heck, even years ago, I went to the Budweiser brewery, did their brewery tour. Really cool place, by the way. Happened to see the Clydesdales. They just happened to be coming out. They were getting like, I think they were just out getting their exercise for
They
the
saw
day.
you coming and knew your stature and how celebrity you were.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, we're gonna go with that because that's just gonna help me sleep at night.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're in line to get in, and this big old door comes open, and here comes all these like really fancy looking horses. I'm like, holy Toledo! If you've never seen a Clydesdale in person, geez, those are big horses. I almost call them big dogs. Those are big old horses. My golly, but they're gorgeous. But anyway, so I got to see those. Go through the brewery tour. It was really neat, massive. But then we got a tasting at the very end. They were, in my opinion, a little stingy with their free samples. I think you only get like one.
Corporate.
Yeah, it's whatever. But still, it even tasted different there at the brewery than it does on the shelf. It's incredible. I mean, I know Sam Adams is big on that, like in their, I forget what they call it, like a Best Buy or Enjoy By dates, something like that, where they tell you, hey, if this beer's beyond this date, man, throw it away, just buy another one. Of course. I mean,
That's the thing that Stone started, their Enjoy By series on their IPAs. They would put like a 90-day count. Well, they would put Enjoy By the 90-day countdown.
Yeah.
It's not a gimmick like your IPAs. Definitely, they have a shelf life.
They do. The flavors change.
The edgier notes tend to fade after some time. With certain beers, though, that's a positive.
Yeah.
Like this beer, for instance, it's way better, which is, again, a rum barrel aged pumpkin ale.
Mm-hmm.
You like the coriander, the savory notes?
I do.
I don't.
Oh.
And those fade.
Oh.
This beer gets better to me. But I'm not a total beer snob.
Well, that reminds me, what you said, it makes that beer better. Everyone's heard the definition. What's the definition of a good wine? It's a wine you like, right?
True.
What's the definition of a good beer? A beer you like? Then, hey, man, if Miller Lite is your beer, by golly, enjoy it. Personally, don't care for it. And it gives me a headache.
Yeah.
But still.
Like a pumpkin ale, do you want savory or do you want a pumpkin pie ale?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Just yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the problem is so many brewers just do pumpkin spice.
Yeah.
They don't even put pumpkin in it.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
So for that brewing competition in October, I think I'm going to do my pumpkin stout again. Or actually, I'm going to do a pumpkin ale. And I'm going to mess with the spices. I'm going to turn the coriander dang near off.
So do like a gold meal recipe.
Basically, just add pumpkin.
Yeah.
I'll have
what that is.
I'll have my middle kid make my pumpkin puree for me again. I think last time we did 5 pounds of real pumpkin puree. So I think we'll stick with the 5 pounds. Actually, to tell you the truth, I didn't notice any difference in the pumpkin flavor between 4 pounds and 5 pounds. So I might not. I mean, if I've got the 5 pounds, great, I'll use it. But if not, 4 pounds will be enough. But I'm gonna because it did decent that first year.
And you're throwing the pumpkin in during the mash.
During the mash, yeah. So it'll be a little bit different. I'm gonna turn
If it's already pasteurized and frozen, you might try throwing it in the fermenter.
I may do some there too.
It just depends.
Because it had a good savory pumpkin flavor to it. Remember?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you do it post fermentation like it's secondary, it's gonna add more body. Depending on what yeast you're using, it may not ferment all the way out.
Yeah.
It may add some sweetness to it too, and you're gonna get a lot more pumpkin.
Well, I just bought a 1 gallon fermenting kit, so I can do an experimental batch.
Nice.
And it being a ale, it ferments quick. Warmer temperatures, faster fermenting. I can do that. So I just bought 1 inch beer. I think Amazon's going to deliver it like Friday or something. So it'll be here pretty quick.
So for those at home listening, all three of you,
yeah, both of the guys listening at home.
Yeah.
Which we appreciate, by the way.
When you throw fruit in secondary, you have to worry if you're going to bottle it, that you really want to wait till it's completely finished. Because like the pumpkin I was talking about throwing in secondary, that stuff, it's going to reactivate whatever yeast you have, and it may actually, you get bottles blown up. It's kind of dangerous. We keg almost exclusively, unless we're doing a competition. It's the only time I bottle. And
I just bottle off the keg.
Yeah, I've got a kegerator with some cool handles and basically like a growler fill station. Cap that. We do 3 beers of each, send it in, and they're consumed within a week.
Nice.
So, or open, they take like 2 sips and throw them away. But that's how competitions work.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. Oh, that's the fun part about the Shrine homebrew or the Shrine competition.
What's that?
I'm sitting at the bar waiting for him to finish judging. Well, guess where the samples go? Right in front of me.
What?
Yeah.
Woo-woo.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Good thing you were walking.
Exactly. Good thing there was a gun range nearby. Nobody got crazy.
That was the greatest night about Waco, man. Because I was like, after like, I don't know, the 3rd or 4th place we went to, I lost count. I was like, good thing I'm walking. They're like, we're going to another place. Nah, man, I'm going home. I'm walking back to my Airbnb.
I think you missed 2 stops in Waco.
I think I did. I think I missed 2. But I was already having so much fun. I went back to the Airbnb, and then for some reason started drinking more. I don't know what happened. That was when the window got me.
Our little baby competition we have is who can bring the best bourbon or the best whiskey.
Yes, that is something that our lodge loves to do. We are cigars and bourbon type people. Of course, Brandy and I are Brandy and cigars type lodge. Brandy and I are just happen to be the beer nerds, so we like the beer. But yes, that is kind of like customary when we show up to our Airbnb in Waco. You need to bring a bottle of bourbon or whiskey or scotch or something. Bring something delicious that just for the group.
I've yet to see a Pappy.
That's true. Wow, man, I remember last year Daryl went. He brought some good scotch from Scotland. Oh, golly, that was so delicious.
Yeah, my Garrison brothers.
Miss Daryl showing up and coming around lodge so much. He was so fun.
Put in some speakers.
I know.
Put up a giant teleprompter for him. So
you know what? I'm gonna mail him a letter. Tell him, Daryl, I miss your face.
He's our original curmudgeon.
Yes, he wore that badge proudly. Literally, he had a badge name tag made that said like curmudgeon and stuff.
We actually one day brought an SPL meter to lodge and figured out where the best place to listen was for this brother.
Yeah.
So we know exactly where the loudest place in the lodge for all the ritual work is, and that's where we sit him.
Yep.
If he comes back, which hopefully he does.
Hopefully he does. I mean, he's
really fun guy.
He's getting up there, but I mean, I love Daryl. I love him a lot. I would love to see him again.
Yeah. Well, what else we got?
Really, that's about it, man. That's
talk about your ascension. How do you feel about it? You feel like you're stronger, faster?
Yeah, I can definitely run faster now.
You got superpowers with the square?
I have superpowers. I can like run faster, and yeah, I'm cool. I don't get knots in my shoelaces no more. It's like really fun.
I don't think anybody I know ever joins masonry with the goal of being a worshipful master.
Yeah, no, I was dreading this like crazy.
Yeah, it's not a curse. It's not a cross to bear, but it's a very serious thing, and we've got a substantial lodge, and it's a lot of responsibility.
We're 100 something members strong, and a lot of very active members. So I'll share kind of my story on this, on how I got to the East. So I was, like I said, I was initiated, raised like 15 years ago. I was junior steward. I was secretary once, and then I got a new job where I had to work nights periodically. So I kind of disappeared from lodge for a few years, and I came back, got active with my lodge again, just because I was like, hey, I needed it. Just start, hanging out, doing the things. I wasn't doing any chairs. And And before I know it, I was secretary. Then I got another new job, which no longer required me to work nights. And I'm like, bet. And then you know what? I decided I'm gonna take my shot for the South. And it literally, something just told me, Jeremy, it's your time to take your shot. So I told everybody, it's like, hey, I'm gonna make myself available. And it's like, it's just something's compelling me from like the guts of my heart, just saying, hey, it's time for you to do something. So I'm just going to take my shot. You know what? Hey, whatever. Well, I was elected to the South. The senior warden, I guess he had some issues come up, so he did not proceed to the East. So I went from the South to the East. I hope him the best. I hope everything's going to do okay with him. But either way, look forward to having him back, by the way. But anyway, I was, Amanda can tell you, my fiance can tell you, I lost sleep for several weeks about, can I really do this? Can I really do this? But I had to
we all did.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I'm sure y'all did. But I had to take a moment and let the intellectual side of me overcome my guts and my heart and my fears and realize like, no, I've got an incredible support crew. And I've got, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to keep my junior past master so close to me, because I'm like, hey man, I'm scared. I'm in some water that I've never been in before. So, but with their help and all the other past masters, Billy and everybody, it's like both Billies actually, with all of them, I'm really confident. I don't think there's ever going to be a problem. We're too big to fail, and they'll kick my butt if we did. So
we won't let you screw it up.
Exactly. I'll have a phone call, be like, hey, you did something, you have fixed like now. Okay.
Once you got a good secretary and a good treasurer and words to back you up, you're fine.
Hey, for those of you who don't know, the secretary is actually like the glue that keeps the lodge together. So go home and hug your secretary.
Please don't.
Okay.
I learned a lot last year.
Oh yeah.
Put it that way.
Yeah.
I won't say I'm great at it, but we still have our charter. So
we still have our charter.
I did sufficiently.
There you go. So
so congratulations on that.
Yeah.
Man. Hopefully have a great year. And
we are going to have a great year, man. We got our gala. We're going to do our gala bigger and better this year, which that's one of the episodes I want to do later, sometime in the near future.
Talk about planning events.
Talk about planning the events, especially at gala, because we used a private club here locally in Fort Worth that hosted us, and it was way easier than I thought. And it was the reviews were just phenomenal.
You basically write a check and you're done.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you have to pick the menu.
Pick the menu. Got a free tasting, and they bring you in. Okay, so here's all the foods. What are you thinking? I'm like, I'm thinking between the filet mignon and the whatever it is and stuff. They're like, oh well, we'll come bring in and try the foods and stuff.
I sent Jeremy a list of about 10 different venues with like 100 different options in every one of them. Completely overwhelming. I'm sure you got other people too.
I did. I got a few, but the place we went to was, first of all, the quickest to respond, and actually the most affordable, and actually the nicest venue.
Yeah.
It's like they kind of do this for a living.
They're thirsty, hungry for the business.
They are. They do a lot of weddings, by the way.
Post-COVID, they really, revenue is good revenue.
Yeah. So, and they were so accommodating. The Kelly, who's our contact over there, she's just phenomenal.
If they just had a patio where you could smoke cigars, it'd be perfect.
Well, I think that's a city ordinance.
Yeah.
She said you had to go downstairs to the outside, out the basement almost, and hide your shame out there. But we got good bourbon.
Oh, you mean by the cigar store?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There's a cigar bar across the street too.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna name drop because again, we're not fishing for sponsors yet.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I don't want somebody to be like, hey, I don't want to be, take my name out of your mouth.
Yeah. They're all upstanding businesses. Well, I think that
definitely concludes everything we got to talk about.
What are we gonna do next month? Wow.
We're gonna talk about our planning, our parties and stuff, because that's really what I think makes Fort Worth Lodge so stinking great, is that we've got all this extracurricular stuff. Yeah, we do good ritual work, and a lot of lodges do good ritual work, but we have good fellowship outside of that. So I want to focus on that.
If you don't have parties, you're gonna have trouble keeping members.
Yeah,
and you don't have to go crazy. Just show your appreciation.
Yeah,
spend a little bit of money, but not a ton.
Yeah,
you can do a gala for way cheaper than you think.
A lot cheaper. So, but we'll talk about that in future episodes and some of the other very affordable ways to bring brothers together.
Ron, well, I think
so.
Let's close it out.
email addresses and the websites and stuff. So
Oh man, bring up Masonicon.
yes, yeah, Masonic, that's where I was heading. So Masonicon is coming. Tickets are on sale. The festive board is also on sale. Those are separate events. Got an email about that today. Someone asked. The festive board is $100. It includes alcohol, I believe.
Have we finalized the menu yet?
Gabe is working on that.
It includes toasting
Wine.
alcohol.
Yeah,
It's not-
toasting
it's
wine.
not-
Right. It's not open bar. It's not open bar. Not for that price.
But it is in the temple, and it's the wine we provide. So it's
Yeah.
not like there's going to be. A
It's not going to be cheap wine either. It's going to be good stuff. So that's the festival board's $100. That's the night before the
Friday night.
Masonicon. Yeah, that's the Friday night. Saturday is Masonicon.
Speaker is Chuck Dunning at the.
Chuck Dunning is on there. Several others that I just
I'm
cannot
sure people have heard of that guy.
seem to. Yeah, Chuck. He's written a book or two.
Yeah.
But they. Yeah, that one. The tickets are $60, which is a steal for an all-day. Basically, all you could listen to
For Masonicon.
for Masons. It's wonderful.
It includes lunch.
I don't want to misspeak on that one.
Okay.
But the date is
August 20th.
yes, it is August 20th. It's just a Saturday at the Big Temple in downtown Fort Worth. The website for it is texasmasonicon.com, which is Texas Mason Icon. Is it Texas Masonicon or is it just Masonicon?
You forget. It's why are you throwing me under the
I
bus?
said, man, I don't remember either. Okay, I'm blaming alcohol. But nonetheless, guys,
Texas Mason Icon.
yeah, Texas. Okay, that's all that was. Texas Masonicon, which is spelled TexasMasonIcon.com. Anyway, all the information you need is there. If you need to get a hold of Brandy or I, you can reach us through the Fort Worth Masonic Lodge website, which is fortworth148.com. I think I've spoken enough, and I need a glass of water.
94% water
Yes,
in that class right
there
there.
it is. There it is.
So, yeah,
Jeremy Gwin signing out.
Brandy Patton signing out.